Looking, finds Bane inside, he throws it down. The Memphis Grizzlies are in the playoffs.
About almost a year ago, the Warriors and the Grizzlies matched up in the play-in tournament for a single elimination game. Morant was up and coming, while Steph just won his second scoring title. The game went back and forth, it went to overtime. It was as exciting as a basketball game could be, but when the final buzzer sounded, Chase Center went quiet. A young Grizzlies team led by a second-year guard beat the Warriors and took the final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Fast forward about a year, as of today, the Warriors are the third seed and have a 3-1 lead over the Denver Nuggets, while Memphis is in the second seed and has a 3-2 lead over Minnesota. The basketball gods are playing matchmaking, and these two teams seem poised to meet in the second round of the 2022 NBA playoffs. Today, let's break down these two teams to see which team will be advancing and which team is going back to the drawing boards for next season. First things first, let's talk about what everyone loves: offense. The Memphis Grizzlies aren't going to be able to contain the Warriors' offense. I mean, let's look at the facts. The Timberwolves are a tier or two lower than the Warriors when it comes to offensive capabilities, and yet, as of today, Minnesota's offense seems to be pushing the Grizzlies to their limit. I mean, just think about it for a second, because if that's the case, just what do you think the Warriors are going to do to them? Anyway, the truth is, Golden State not only has the talent of some of the best shooters in NBA history, but they also run a system that allows those shooters to flourish. I mean, just take a look at this. Here's Curry with the ball. Klay's about to set a screen for the switch. Now there's a mismatch. Klay Thompson is 6'6" and has the smaller 6'2" Monte Morris on him. That's barbecue chicken for Klay. But instead, Curry has an even better idea. This is just an open practice shot now for Curry. Splash, splash, butter, baby. Here's another example. Poole has the ball up top. Klay is here, and he's about to set a screen to get Curry a wide open shot. The defenders mess up a bit, and both switch on to Curry. At the same time, notice how Draymond here is bringing the center out all the way to the perimeter to prevent any shot blocking at the rim. Sheesh. And that's too easy, guys. And the crazy thing is, this isn't even a drawn-out play coming from a timeout. This is just them knowing each other and the system. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that the Warriors' offense is just too sophisticated for Memphis to effectively guard against for 48 minutes. And, Memphis is probably gonna do whatever they did last year. They're gonna stick Dillon Brooks onto Curry because, well, to be honest, he does about as good a job as any defender could on Steph. But the problem is, Klay Thompson is back this time, and also, Jordan Poole recently transformed himself into the 2015 MVP version of Steph. I mean, look at these statistics. Throughout the first 4 playoff games, Curry is attempting 9 3-point shots a game and is making them at about 38.9%. Klay is shooting 10.5 3-point attempts per game and is shooting them at 50%. And Jordan Poole is shooting 6.8 3-point attempts per game and has an efficiency rating of 51.9%. The Warriors and the system they employ are going to be getting off any shot they like against the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies can only hope they miss. But looking at those statistics, I wouldn't count on it. Anyway, on the opposite end of the same coin, the Grizzlies are going to do their best to exploit mismatches. When the Warriors' death lineup is on the floor, Memphis is going to do their best to get Curry switched onto Morant and then use Ja's quickness to attack the paint to create opportunities. Here's what the Warriors scouting report will say though. As a unit, Memphis isn't a great 3-point shooting team. I mean, throughout their first 5 games, they're shooting the 3 ball at 34.2%. So, just by doing some X's and O's, I'm sure Steve Kerr and Draymond Green are thinking of clogging the paint a bit when Morant drives to force him to kick it out. Then the Warriors are just going to make any shooter, not named Tyus Jones or Desmond Bane, shoot the 3 ball, and then from there, it becomes a percentages game. The truth is, the Warriors are an elite defensive team. I mean, per Hollinger's defensive efficiency, the Warriors were number 1 while the Timberwolves were number 13. So if Patrick Beverley can slow down Memphis this much, just think what Draymond, Wiggins, Klay, and GP2 can do to them. In saying all this though, this series isn't going to be a cakewalk. Memphis is a young, athletic, and hungry team that plays at 120%. They play together as a team, and like the Warriors, they play an unselfish brand of basketball. I mean, so far in the playoffs, the Grizzlies are 3rd in assists, and they also run the least amount of isolation plays. They're leading the league in frequency of transition plays, and they love running pick and rolls. The keys for the Warriors to win this series is, number 1, match the Grizzlies' intensity. For 48 minutes, Memphis is going to run the floor hard and they're going to play with force. The Warriors have to make sure they match that energy from the get-go. Otherwise, they'll be playing catch-up all game. Number 2, limit the turnovers. The Warriors, and especially STEPH with some of his passes coming out of double teams, have to limit the amount of unforced turnovers because remember, the Grizzlies excel in transition. Every turnover the Warriors make is likely to end in either a basket at the other end or 2 shots at the line. And finally, we have number 3. The Warriors have to hit their open shots. Kerr's system of player and ball movement is designed to get players open looks at the basket, and it's a miss or make league. If the Warriors don't hit the shots they're supposed to be making, then it'll be a long series. If they do, then the Grizzlies won't stand a chance. Because like I said, the Warriors have an offensive system that's going to be unguardable. Players are going to be either getting open looks from the perimeter, or there's going to be an open lane to the basket. All in all, I'm going to say the Warriors will win the series in 5 games, maybe 6 if they have a really bad shooting night, but they should be able to close out the Grizzlies without getting into any serious trouble. Memphis is still a young team that's going to be making lots of small errors, and against a fully healthy and experienced Warriors team, those little mistakes will compound. In about 2 to 3 years, if this Memphis team could stay together and build upon their experiences, they'll definitely be in championship contention, but as of now, they're still a little too young, in my opinion. I mean, just for some fun facts, as of right now, the Memphis Grizzlies have an average age of 24.2. And before that, the youngest team to ever win a championship is coincidentally the 2015 Golden State Warriors, which had an average age of 26.4. But before them, the youngest team to win a championship was the 1980s Lakers, who had an average age of 25.7. In fact, if the Memphis Grizzlies do somehow end up winning the championship this season, they'll tie the record for the youngest team to ever win, which was the 1977 Portland Trail Blazers, which also had an average age of 24.2. And with that being said, the Grizzlies will be the perfect team to get the Warriors in shape for a Western Conference showdown between either the Suns or the Mavericks. Then, the finals. Because unlike every other team in the playoffs for this season, the Warriors have had the least amount of on-court time together due to the injuries of their 3-star trio in Steph, Klay, and Draymond. So in short, the Warriors still have levels to gain while the rest of the league has already peaked in my opinion. Anyway, on to a slightly different topic here. Did y'all know that some players in the league once decided to trash talk the GOAT of basketball, Mr. Michael Jordan? Sheesh guys, yeah, I know. It's absolutely insane, but it's true. And if you want to see what happened to these poor fellas, then just click right here. These may not have anything to do with the playoffs, but trust me when I say that the intensity is the same when you decide to talk smack to the best who ever laced them up. Anyway, just click the video guys, and like always, I'll see you on the other side.